The evolution of The Sims. The Sims were first released in February of 2000. It was developed by Maxis and published by Electronic Arts. The Sims were meant for a new kind of game, as in you could create your own characters and create your own houses. It's basically just a simulation world, hence the name Sims. You could control everything they did, like eating whenever, or going to bed or showering and stuff like that. The Sims series is, there's 1 through 4. The Sims 2 was released in September 14th, 2004. So there's a good spacing in between because Sims 2 had more in it. It was developed more, had better graphics, and so on. The whole Sims series, all the same, basically, with simulations, but it was indeed different in their own ways. Sims Life Stories is a different kind of roleplay. It had to do with the past already in the game, as in you were put into a certain point in the Sims life and you couldn't control the past. And you had to go on from there and try and make a better future for the Sim without having to relive the past or make changes according to the past. And Sims 2 itself, it was of course the sequel to the first, but it had more upgrades and more improvement to the game, like I said earlier, as one would think of a sequel. This time, Sims, already set goals for themselves and achieved them goals. Main changes to Sims 2, it had a full 3D environment. It wasn't just like a flat, normal game. You could, move the camera around and it wouldn't be flat. You would actually have 3D look to it. Now in The Sims 2, you had it to where your Sims could go from baby, child, adult. In the other one, it was just straight. You were an adult. You just messed around, pretty much. But this one, you had life stages. And on top of all of that, you could build and furnish their homes. On the one before, you just bought homes. On this one, you could build and furnish your own homes, and it was pretty cool. The Sims are now given personalities, which means you can choose if they're playful or not. When the Sims communicate with each other, they gain personality skills. As in, say you had a social butterfly, if you will. The more you talk to them, the more social butterfly they would level up, and they'd become more friendly and whatnot. You got to pick 5 different personalities, whether that was, whether it was social butterfly, athletic, smart, genius, whatever. There's 25 different ones to pick to make your unique Sim, and there's more than likely not a chance there'll be another one exactly like it in the game already. In Sims 3, it was created in June 2nd, 2009. Another good amount in between. Sims 3 added bicycles. They were now able to gain skills on other lots besides their own. As in, you can gain skills that'll help you throughout other than the ones that they just give you. So say they give you such skills when you have handyman as your personality. Well, that means you can only upgrade the skills in that set. Well, now in The Sims 3, you had it to where you get those skills plus skills that weren't in your personality, which made the Sim more unique now. The story progression, non-active households were able to progress, as in if you didn't mess with the household itself, it would still move on and go through daily life, and when you got back on, it was something different. Um, you could move in Sims from other lots with your Sims, as in you could have your friends move in with you, you could have a husband move in with you, and just you can move in with, practically complete strangers if you wanted to. Choosing Sims lifestyle on how they eat and work and what TV they watch, where they went, it would all end up helping their personality out and whatnot. The created Sim in Sims 3 was upgraded from the other Sims in the series, in the later series. You had continuous body shape, so now not only could you be fat or skinny, you could have a small chest but bigger hips, or the other way around. You could have one big leg and one small leg. It didn't matter. It was more of a choice. And you had enhanced facial customization, so you could just mess with the face however you wanted to. And it was more of an opportunity for the Sims creators, or the Sims players, if you will, to be more creative in what they do. And finally, Sims 4. It was released not too long ago in September 2nd of 2014. Sims 4 was created like all the others to focus on creating and controlling the world in general, and you were able to do just about everything before, and like the rest of them, it was just upgrades at a time instead of, changing the whole gameplay as it is. It's basically the same thing. But the main thing to me is the upgraded of the history. You could, just have a better history of your Sims, more in depth, all this other stuff. The Sims features, you had smarter Sims. They weren't as, airheads, if you will. Because in the earlier Sims, they were more, not being able to do anything by themselves. Now, the Sims 4, you could have a whole family, right? And you control one at a time. Well, the other ones would be actually doing the things they needed to get done without starving themselves and without, using the bathroom on themselves. They would actually go do it themselves, and it would be a smarter choice for them and whatnot. They have more unique traits now. It's not just, smart, playful, all this stuff. You had it to where when you are a social butterfly, they picked out their own groups that they wanted to hang out with, not just, everyone. It's more unique in this way. And emotions hit Sims a lot harder and different in Sims 4. It's basically just like real life compared to the other ones. The other ones, it was a game and it felt like a game. In this one, you create your own family and everything, and you get into it, and it feels like, you have the family. This is your family because it's so emotional in that state. The emotions hit you as with them because you see how the emotions affect people in the game. Build mode, it just makes it easier to build houses. You can go in and out of build mode and see how it looks on the inside. And, buildings can be built in unique ways now because you can get a certain room, put it somewhere and get another one, or you can make it 2-story, 1-story, 3-story, however many stories you want. Heck, it could be a freaking hotel. And you could make tiny houses, big houses, normal size houses, anything. And you can also put this stuff on a gallery, which is like a multiplayer, and people can look at your stuff, and it's kind of like a multiplayer / Facebook for all of this. And it would help you get through it, and you could see ideas for your own. And The Sims is basically just a whole different type of game. It, is a simulating game. It helps stimulate creativity and communication. The more you communicate on the game, the more you're able to communicate in real life. And I've done research on it And I've played it myself, and the more I played that and had my family and took care of it, the more I want to take care of, my parents and my sister in real life. And it just, it makes you feel good about yourself when you have that. So The Sims is actually a really good game to play.